So, the case that we're going to talk about today is B being disqualified from the Wololo event, which he did qualify for in one of the monthlies, but it was revoked due to breaking one of EGC TV's handbook rules, which we'll look at. We'll start, as you can see here. Again, I just want to state, I do not know whether B is guilty or not. Okay? I'm only analyzing the investigation and the issues with the investigation. We'll go over the official announcement here. So the first official announcement we got was on 8:30. Today is 9:14. So it's been about 2 weeks, a little over 2 weeks now. I feel like a lot has been said in those 2 weeks. But we had an admin here say the player B, very simple, short and sweet. The player B has been disqualified from the tournament due to violation of the rules. Road to Wololo handbook, which we'll take a look at. We therefore extend the list of the tournament qualification slots through the road to Red Bull Wololo by one additional player, and Lucifron was invited to the tournament instead. So basically, this was it. Just short and sweet. B's disqualified from the tournament. Okay. A lot of chatter. So the admin comes the next day and makes a second release. So then the Red Bull admin, since there was a lot of chatter on it, a lot of drama, he came in and says, with all the chatter happening, I want to clarify that this has been an ongoing investigation for a good while, with Relic, Microsoft, Red Bull, as well as other talents being a part of the investigation. We take situations like these extremely seriously and handle them with great care. We have the required evidence to make our decision. However, this information is confidential and is not to be shared with the public. I cannot share further details about the case. We have not seen it. Well, we saw one more thing. So this was the official statement. B also shared him getting the news that he got banned. He was requiring for what reason, and he was replied with, he couldn't answer, then have a good evening, and that's been kind of the joke, right? So this has really been it for official statements. Now we also have the official statement from EGC TV, so we'll take a look at that, and then we'll go for the unofficial statements from some pro streamers. For more details. We'll put that in quotations, right? Because it's not official statements. All right, tournament admin has announced that B has been disqualified from the main event of Red Bull Wololo Legacy. The link to the statement is here, which we just looked at. While this decision was taken by the host/admin of the main event, the ban will extend to Road to Wololo series, and the player will now be eligible to continue in the series. We will announce any further sanctions against the player as a result of this once in the coming days. After which we'll announce any potential ban from EGC events. Until then, the player will be suspended indefinitely. So as of right now, he is banned from Red Bull Wololo. His qualification into that tournament has been revoked, and we are on standby if he's going to be banned from all of EGC TV's tournaments in the future. So we're on standby on that. We haven't heard anymore. Okay. That is what we have for official statements. Okay. Now we had some big streamers, Beastie, the Muslim, share probably a little bit too much information on the topic, and that's where I think the start of the trouble comes in, because you get to look inside the investigation of which is going to be our topic today, of the issues with the investigation. We'll actually take a look at Beasties announcement first here. So we got two videos here from Beastie. We have one of his second day, which I found on YouTube. It is 54 minutes of him discussing the ban. If you want his side of the story, feel free to watch it. We're just going to look at some key points. If you want to watch the whole thing, I encourage you to check out Beastie QT's YouTube video or go to his Twitch channel if you want to get the whole thing. I'm just going to take snippets. Obviously, I'm not going to... I did watch all of these, but as far as my sake here, I'm just going to go to some key points here. Okay, so here we have Beastie kind of breaking down some of the points of why he believes B was disqualified, because there wasn't a reason given. Okay, he puts on there guilty of exploiting bugs and got banned. He's defending himself. This VAC ban, which was 7 years ago, B said it wasn't him. Fog of War stuff, which we're gonna look at. Finding docs, bug abuse, we're going to talk about that. Somehow managing to 99% find deer. I think this is a skewed thing. I don't know which replays that they looked at, but this is let's see all of the replays. The replays I watched, he wasn't finding the deer 99%. So this lie. Playing one scout quite often. That's kind of the new meta for a lot of civs. Always having scouts around opponent's base on ladder, not in tournament. Always having scouts around opponent's base on ladder, not in tournament. Okay, so there's discrepancy, which we're going to get at. Playing versus him on ladder tournament feels like a different player. We're going to get into that. EGC TV pro player gave opinion, Red Bull, and Microsoft. So this is kind of interesting first that Beastie mentions EGC TV here as part of the investigation, but in the official announcement, Red Bull admin didn't mention EGC TV. He said other talent, so maybe EGC TV is in the other talents category, but I can't say for certain. And 10 hours of replays that I went through his ladder and tournament games. So he just reviewed lots of replays.
I have asked.
And we're just going to take a quick snippet of this.
I said, let's assume he is not cheating in map hack, map vision way. Let's assume he's just not doing it at all. Will this get him disqualified?
So this is Beastie referring to Fitzborough's interview with B, and B mentioned that when he was trying to place a wall in the fog, it turned red, and thus he knew there was a dock there. Right? Exploit, right? We see a lot of players do that. They have the red wall. Did B do it more than others? I don't know. I don't have that information, right? Beastie asked the admin an additional question, which is one of the things I find interesting, is after the investigation, Beastie is the only one that can get additional information from the admins. B has even reached out and asked for additional information why he was banned. Instead, we were just given this generic blanket statement. He violated the rules. Well, which rule? A rule. Well, which rule in there? He's banned. No further questions. Beastie, on the other hand, somehow he has special connections. I know he was part of the investigation, but people that are in the investigation want to distance themselves from the investigation, just say, hey, they were just an expert analysis. Well, how come these expert analyzers or experts get to ask follow-up questions? So that's why I find it interesting. So just listen here.
Anyway, I got a clear yes. So whoever, the people that are trying to make excuses for him saying, show proof of map hack, show proof of this, show proof of that, and unban him if you can't, he is still not getting unbanned. That is what I'm trying to explain to people. Now, regarding, a lot of conspiracy was going around this. I don't know any, I don't know the reason.
So another thing that was interesting there, so this is day 2. We'll look at his first statement too. Beastie kind of, I think, shows a little bit more emotion. I think today Beastie's a little bit more collective here. But on the first day, I feel like he was a little bit more forthgiving of information and showing maybe too much emotion behind it. But I just thought it was interesting that he was able to get additional information. And then you'll see as we look at this further and the speculation, it went from B was a hacker. He used software. The goalpost changed to, oh, he exploited some system. And then, oh, he did this wall thing to, hey, we don't know. So we're just going to ban him because we feel like he cheated somehow, which we're going to see later in this, which is probably a reason why the administrator of the event did not give a reason, right? You can't prove your innocence if you're not given, if you don't know what you're guilty of, which rule you broke, right? Which is pretty crazy. So we're gonna look at Beastie's second thing, because like I said, I'm showing Beastie because we didn't get much on the official statement, so we have all these unofficial statements that we have to go by.
300 and then beat rank 2 or 3 guy. That makes.
So I'm actually just going to go back just a little bit. So this is a point of one of the reasons for suspicion is B is not a very good ladder player in their words, right? There's a ladder B and there's a tournament B. And we see this both from Beastie and we see this both from the Muslim. And apparently we see some speculation through other pro players. Stay tuned. We have more for that coming up. But we're just trying to generate a solid basis here.
A lot of people will ask, and I just want to get it out there, like, why wasn't he removed earlier? Like, if we knew this from since, like, after July monthly. Well, you don't want to, like, be like, oh, he's doing this, get him out of here. Because then we would have no players left in the scene, right? You want to make sure that what's happening is weird and suspicious.
Which is good right here. He's talking about, hey, they don't want to make a rash decision, so they're doing this long investigation. Now, your reason why is Beastie and the Muslim have so much insight in this? And this is because they were actually brought in as part in the investigation. They reviewed a lot of the replays. I'm actually going to go to 549, I believe, and we get to hear who is all part of the investigation here.
B plays ladder in streams. Lucifer played him, and Lucifer beat him 2-0 and said, "This is not the same guy I played in the tournament." Like, not the same guy at all. So they started getting suspicious. Around that time, this was after July monthly. After that time, Mista started getting suspicious, and he saw that people were saying that he's cheating in some way, yada yada. So 3 of them started looking at replays. Other top players got included.
So was the 3 was it Lucifer, Vortex, and Mista?
Marine Lord, the Muslim got included. Can't remember if there was anyone else. And when I played B in the finals, where when I won 3-2, I was told after that, "Do you think B is playing weird?" I was asked, "Do you think B is playing weird?" And I said, well, and I'm not even joking, I said, "It feels like he always knows what you're doing. Like, whenever I try something, he's there to stop it." So they tell me, they think there might be something going on. A lot of other people think something's going on. And this is where the whole investigation starts.
So I'm just going to pause it there. So I'm going to bring my notepad over here. So it sounds like what we just got confirmed here is people that are part of this investigation against 3DB are his big competitors. We have Lucifer, Vortex, Mista, Marine Lord, Beastie, and Muslim. Those are not my words. Those are Beastie words that we see brought in here. Like, again, we're not getting much from the admin, so we're listening into these people that were part of the investigation. Now, any investigation does come, how does the investigation start? Or the concern is someone has to accuse a B of cheating. Who was it that accused him? I don't know. Was it any of these people? And if so, why are they a part of the investigation, right? This is the first conflict that we run into in this investigation, is if you are accusing someone, you report, you explain why you think the person is cheating, but you do not get brought into the investigation. You are biased. If you think someone is cheating, you are going to be biased in the investigation. Was there anyone, did they pull anyone that didn't think B was cheating into the investigation, right? That was a hard firm. No, it sounded like they brought in people that were. Now, Marine Lords looked like, from reading his statement, which we will take a look at. I'm not going to read it all. He wrote a lot. But he seemed like he was kind of on the fence. But guess what? If you have a group of people all saying he cheated, you're probably going to be influenced. Everyone's telling you he cheated. So you're going to take a look at replays. And you can look at 10, 20 replays, and you find 5 that have some suspicion. It doesn't matter. The other 15 seem like normal games. Those 5, which we will see, it wasn't every game that there was suspicion. It was just a few from reading Marine Lord's statement, which we will take a look, right? They looked at 50 videos or whatever, hours of videos. I don't know. Hours of video, and they plucked some suspicious activity, right? Wasn't in every video. It didn't even seem like it was in 50% of the videos, but we will see. Right there is kind of another conflict in the investigations. Remember that we saw Beastie say in his statement that there is a ladder B and a tournament B. Now we hear that again from DeMuslim. Look, they're all parroting the same thing because they were all in the same investigation, rooting each other on, parroting the same thing. So we're going to go to DeMuslim here. This is DeMuslim on the topic.
So he retired or something, like he wasn't partaking in tournaments anymore, he wasn't partaking in ladder anymore.
Let's go pause right there. He wasn't taking part in tournaments now. He did Gamer League. He wasn't invited to N4C. The next tournament was the Red Bull Wololo, which he's in. So which tournament did he not go in? Second, B does not get paid to stream. He doesn't get any money. And he wasn't even a big streamer. He was an average. So I don't get those excuses, right? But now let's hear DeMuslim on the ladder.
Wasn't streaming, and he comes back, and all of a sudden his playstyle is, before he was crazy, but now he was crazy, but it seemed to be crazy all in the right places. And this was,
what do you mean? He came out of nowhere? Let's look at right here. Golden League. B was 9th. B came out of nowhere. He was 9th in Golden League. B has always, I agree, B has done crazy stuff, and that's why he's one of the fan favorites. But he came out of nowhere. He was 9th in Golden League. Give me a break. B has always been a top competitor. Again, this is that group mentality. Everyone out to be inviting you in. What? Do you think B is cheating? Hey, come into this group. We're investigating him. Oh, wow. Did they ever ask, hey, did you think B is cheating? No? Okay, you're not welcome to the group. Did that happen? I don't know, right? It's not like they're just inviting people that, they're looking for people that match their opinion on B, right? So there's, again, a problem with the investigation. Huge conflict of interest right there. I'm okay with people accusing them, reporting them, but then that's where that should end. Maybe get some follow-up, but as soon as you start taking part in the investigation of the ones you accuse, you've gone too far. But B was 9th in Golden League, so it wasn't like he came out of nowhere. So we're going to continue here.
so he retired or something, like he wasn't partaking in tournaments anymore, he wasn't partaking in ladder anymore. Wasn't streaming, and he comes back, and all of a sudden his playstyle is, before he was crazy, but now he was crazy, but it seemed to be crazy all in the right places. And this was like, oh, you've stopped, like, what's happened here? Like, I've even said it on my stream.
So again, B wasn't good. There's a ladder B, and there's a tournament B. Tournament B, he's really good. Ladder B, he is not. Again, we hear that from Demuslim, and we hear it from Beastie. But look, B has done this great thing of proving people wrong. And look at him. B for Wololo. He's just created this account to prove his innocence and show he is talented. And he is in 7th. 75 games already in 7th. He's 7-2 on Demuslim in this. And before, there's a ladder B, tournament B. Now they're kind of walking back now after losing to B here in the ladder and saying, oh, B's a talented player. B has always been good. Oh, we never said that. We got recording. We got recording of you having that discrepancy. You know? Own your words. And B, U100B, he is fast. He is really good micro. Come to his stream. He is super humble. So I don't know if he's guilty or not. But what Demuslim and Beastie have shown, which we're going to look at the replays that they looked at, it's all suspicion. There is some, I will agree, that maybe look a little bit, but let's look at maybe some reason. Maybe let's talk to B. Have a conversation with him. And see, maybe, what if it was just a little bit of an exploit? Oh, hey, you shouldn't be doing that, right? Because it's not explicitly written in the rule book. He may not know. So instead of doing this month-long investigation, you could be like, hey, B, we see you doing something. Are you doing something, off? But no, there was not that. It was behind the scene investigation. No, just communicating with him, which is so strange, it's really is strange here. So we're going to go back here and just listen to a little bit of more what Beastie's saying on the topic.
After July Weekly. Then EGC TV gets notified. And apparently there's already been reports of suspicion that he is manipulating the game or cheating in some way from other people as well. So not 7-8 of us, but others as well. And this is where it kind of gets more suspicious, right? B, I would love to hear your explanation for the replay I'll show later.
He says this. B says in chat, I will glad to explain all this in Discord. Beastie goes to sub only. He silences B. Why? B was willing to come on here. You have Beastie, 1,000 viewers. That's an influencer. Okay, you are one of the biggest, if not the biggest streamer. You have influence in the community. B wants to share his side of the story and go walk through them. You cut him off. Because you didn't want to hear him. That was the problem with this investigation from the start. They didn't want to talk to B. They didn't want to hear from B. They just wanted to accuse B.
Later. I would love it. But I don't think you can explain it. I don't think you can explain it. Trust me. We watched.
What's wrong with hearing him and explain?
Watch the replays 20 times.
And think about from his perspective. Again, if he's guilty, he deserves it. But if he's innocent, this person does not have a platform. Like they said, he doesn't really stream. He doesn't have a YouTube following. Again, what is wrong with having that conversation with B? Or with B? You are up there accusing him, going through the replays with your perspective. Why wouldn't you get B's perspective?
I'll love to see you explain that one.
But again, I will say at this point, I do not know whether B is guilty or not. However, the investigation seemed very flawed. From the unofficial statements, sounds like it was very poorly conducted. And if an innocent man were proven guilty, or if an innocent man was guilty, and it was a mistake, this is how mistakes happen. It's from investigations like this.
but I don't think you can. You're sure 1,000,000%? I'll just say the 4-leg games.
So again, B wants to voice his opinion, but he doesn't get the opportunity, right? All right, so now we're going to take some look at some of the replays. All right, so one of the things that was discussed here, I'm not sure if I can find it here. I didn't mark it, but B always plays 4 legs. Why is B always picking his home map for 4 legs? What do you think? It's his favorite map. Of course, he's winning on it. Of course, you're going to pick a map you're winning and your favorite. What kind of crazy delusional person do you have to be that someone isn't going to pick their favorite map? I don't even know how that was even an argument. Oh. I play the same Civ. Doesn't mean I cheat on the Civ. I just like the Civ.
Kills the deer packs.
All right, so here it looks like we're looking at the deer pack. So apparently he goes, what, 1 scout and gets all the deer?
He's going to hit this deer pack.
Okay, so he's going to hit that. Isn't his opponent already on that deer pack? And B goes over this way to get the sheep and then comes around. Wouldn't he want to get the deer pack right away? I mean, you look at the direction. You go this way. Oh, hey, there's water. Is he supposed to keep going into the water? I don't know. I'm not a pro player, but apparently he's supposed to go off in the water and not follow the bank.
And then he's going to go to this deer pack. See that it's killed, and he's going to go back. 1 scout sees 4 deer packs in 2 minutes 22. That's a world record to me. Again, let's go.
Was this every game? Or did you analyze 50 games? You got lucky in a handful? I don't know. Again, I don't have that information. I wasn't part of the investigation. But if you're going to go analyze the deer, pull up every single of those 50 replays, and let's see if he does it every time. If he does it every time, hey, that raises suspicion. If you find 5, 6, maybe even 7 times, that could be just luck.
Let's just say, fuck it. It's lucky, right? It's super lucky. Now let me show you this. This is why we're here. So remember how I told you, maybe he just builds walls every time when he plays on this map. Mind you, he has no scouting on this side. I could have docked by now. He has no scouting. He doesn't attempt to scout this side at all. And guess what I'm doing? I am not docking this side. Very interesting, isn't it? Very, very interesting. So, he somehow finds docks every time, but when you don't do it...
Is it every time? Again, don't just say this watching replay. Pull up all the videos and see if he's finding it. Okay? Again, it's just a broad statement.
A camel archer accidentally, right, runs into the 6 villagers.
All right, so this is, again, Fog of War hacks, right? And they look at his camera, and he's looking in the Fog of War, right? That's what they're going to pin him on against, okay? Well, guess what B's doing now? B is playing the ladder. He has 2 cameras. He has one facing him, and he has one behind him looking at his screen. So he can't be cheating. This is on his stream. So 2 days ago, he was streaming, and I pulled this up, right? Whoa! What is this? Are we in the Fog of War? Is he looking in the fog here? It's kind of next to that TC. Is there anything there? We don't know. This is a match that B has played on ladder with the 2 cameras. You can see right here is his name, B for Wololo. Why is he looking in here? Right? This is the in-game replay. Suspicious? Well, let's take a look. Right here. So we got 2 views. We got the in-game view of what they would see when they reviewed these replays of B looking in the fog. Why would B be looking into the fog? He must be cheating, must be map hacks, he must be able to see. No, he's just clicking into the fog. Again, it can be explained. Again, I'm not saying B is guilty or not or innocent, whatever. But the accusations that they put against B, he doesn't ladder. And remember, ladder B isn't good. How can he be winning tournaments? Again, we pull up his rank. B is number 7. He has been destroying the Muslim. 7-2 on the ladder. He's beat Cassava. He's beat Puppy Paw. Puppy Paw's beat him. Beastie has beat him. But it isn't this one-sided like, oh, there's no way B could beat us in a tournament. He's crappy in ladder. No. And again, I showed you both views of him on that same game. This is the same match, by the way. I stopped at 359. And then in-game it was 359. Right there. Right? So you can see the exact same spot. This is my first game I looked at, too. I'm like, hey, let's just curious. Let's just take a look at it. Let's see if he does look into the fog into his ladder games. And long and behold, he does. So another little bit of a crack in their investigation that maybe wasn't so solid that you may think, oh, why is he looking in there? Well, he's just kind of clicking there. And let's just see what he does here. Click around. Boom. Right. So he was probably looking in the fog probably for 2 seconds, maybe a second and a half. But that's what they caught him on too, though, in the replay. So, again, really, the cheats in here, hey, no cheating, pretty broad. There isn't a long extent of the rules. So if you get him, hey, he was trying to put a wall, it turned red. Hey, he knew something was there. It's next to the water. Well, what are you going to build next to the water? Probably a dock, right? There can be that analysis, right? So those are some of the key points that I really wanted to talk about that really kind of throws kind of a wrench in some of these things, right? The fog of war, we've seen him. He's doing it currently with 2 cameras. The red wall, hey, I watched the tournament today on EGC TV. You can see Muslim was trying to place a wall. It turned red, da-da-da-da, right? Like, it just happens naturally, right? Doesn't mean someone has to exploit it. Now, people go to the interview with Fitzbro and saying he uses this wall as an exploit. Not quite. And I don't want you to take my word for it. I want you to take B's word for it. So let's take a listen here.
About a game on 4 Lakes specifically. I think I actually casted that one.
Yeah. And
Okay.
they don't know that when you already placed a dock, you unable to place a palisade. That's the reason. We have only one reason to pull wheels to destroy something that already constructing on my lake.
Okay. His lake, people on 4 Lakes build walls around the water. So it's not crazy that, hey, right next to your base, you go to build a wall, but you can't. Hey, there must be something there, right?
So you're saying that you were selecting a palisade wall segment and then trying to like move it around on the map to see?
You just
Okay.
click to place palisades to block my lake.
See, now Fitzbro kind of, again, B's not, his native language isn't English, he's Russian. Fitzbro goes kind of a little bit too far in his explanation there. B is saying, as you said, he's trying to place his to block the dock on the waterway. He's not moving it around. He's trying to block the waterway. Let's just go back and listen to that.
That when you already placed a dock, you unable to place a palisade. That's the reason. We have only one reason to pull wheels to destroy something that already constructing on my lake.
So you're saying that you were selecting a palisade wall segment and then trying to like move it around on the map to see?
You just
Okay.
click to place palisades to block my lake, and I'm see that I can palisade it.
So he's saying yeah, not fully understanding what Fitchbro is asking him or saying. Hey, he's moving around. No, he's placing it there to block his lake, which all the players do.
Okay, so you're
What's
saying
the
that
one reason of it?
if you try to build through the fog of war, it gives you like that unable to. Okay.
No, not Fog of War. I already scouted that place, but run from it. I don't know how it sounds clear. Maybe already scouted map, because Fog of War, it's like you'll never see at this map.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so that's like
Maybe I run. I don't know, but I mean that I already scouted that place, run from it, and then I tried to place palisades, but
Okay.
it was impossible because the game pinged me that it's already a red zone for placements. So the one reason, or maybe corpse of a sheep or a deer can
Yeah, I know that I have tried to place things,
interrupted.
and like my units will sometimes. I think I know what you mean. Like if there's a wall already there that you don't know about, they know like it won't.
So this was kind of brings me. I'm going to kind of start wrapping this up a little bit of why I'm making this video, streaming, and whatnot. Is hey, there's suspicious activity out there. What is the ratio? Hey, we see him doing these things with the cameras on. Now, it doesn't look suspicious because you see both views. But unfortunately, you just see one view during the tournaments because B isn't streaming. So your mind can start coming up with, oh, he's looking at the person's stone to see if he's building a TC. Oh, he saw. There's a lot of insight these pro players just have that just instinctively they know what to do. They know what's going to happen. Yes, anyway, I mean, a pro player knows the matchup more than a newer person. It doesn't mean that the pro is cheating. No, it just means he has more insight. Again, and why, if there was some technical technique that Relic Microsoft could do to see if B was cheating, why would they be reaching out to the people that accused them, this group, to assist in the investigation? It's such a biased investigation. What they should have done is, hey, we understand. Thank you for reporting this. We'll look into this. And if you want expert analysis, one, you probably shouldn't need to, because guess what? You have. In Relic, you have balanced testers. I saw Maito today. Casting. Seemed like he knows a lot about the game, and I think a balanced tester probably knows even more than a pro, right? They have a lot of insight. So there is one area where you could have went, right? So you could have went and asked the balance testers. Okay? They weren't enough you wanted. Well, then you go into the intermediate, people that didn't accuse B to be an outside opinion on it. Okay? Luciferon, Vortex, Mista, Marine Lord, Beastie QT, to Muslim, they're all his competitors. What in the world were you thinking, Red Bull? Who does that? There is a huge conflict of interest. B could be guilty, he could be innocent. But with this conflict of interest, you set yourself up of screwing this person from his career, from a very humble, you go to his stream, he's very humble, intelligent player that loves this game, played his heart out. Now he's going out there and showing, look, I can play ladder. And it didn't take him weeks to get, no, that was in a week. He was already up there, a week and a half. He was winning games. He didn't have to practice for months to climb ladder. He did that. He already had the skill. He's already showing he has the skill to compete with these pros. I hope, for the sake of this group, Lucifer, Vortex, Mista, Marine Lord, Beastie, DeMuslim, even EGC TV, the Red Bull admin, Microsoft, Relic, I hope you are 100% without a doubt that he is guilty. Because if you're not, you just took away this person's opportunity into the biggest tournament. Someone got banned from a 300K tournament. Tell him what he did wrong. What rule did he break? The reason why you didn't, most likely, is because you didn't know exactly what. You just agreed with this group, Lose from Vortex, Mr. Merlin, Lord Beastie, and Muslim, took their word, believed them, and banned this person. Yeah, the community maybe is not so affected. They'll move on. You will move on and organize more tournaments. But this will always affect B and his loss of opportunity. And even future EGC TV tournaments. And now his name is on there on Google that he was disqualified. You see all the videos why he was disqualified. But no reason, no evidence. And understand, hey, there's part of the evidence maybe you don't want to show. I will buy that argument that you don't want to show the evidence because there's some technical thing you got to keep secret, right? But what is the reason you can't provide the reason? What damage does that cause? Say, hey, B was disqualified because he broke this rule, which was da-da-da-da. I think you didn't want to do it because you didn't know. You knew there was holes in your investigation that could be easily scrutinized, which they have been, because we had Beastie, the Muslim, and even Marine Lord, which I didn't show. I have here. So if you guys want to take a look at Marine Lord is very well written. I got to respect Marine Lord for writing this. This is actually beautiful, well broken down. But again, you know, he talked about some of the fog of war, which we talked about. I just pulled up one game. I was 1 for 1 there. You know, there was the dock thing. You know, yeah, it's just, I'll give it to you. Some of the stuff is suspicious. But did you talk to B? Did you talk to B before the ban? But I had other stuff pulled up here. You know, like I had Aussie Drongo talk about it. Even him, though. Let's see where he talks about it.
A verified.
So here's a real cheater. This isn't B, but this is another cheater that there was one. This is a map pack. This was not found from B's perspective, right? If we saw this, then yeah, he'd be banned, right? It'd be married. But we didn't see anything like this. Let's see. Let's see what.
Scan the enemy's base. So we know the enemy's base is over here. We know because we can see the little mini map, and I've specifically got it so we've revealed the fog of war. So I can draw a wall anywhere on this map. I can draw it as long as it's not intersect.
So he's talking about the wall thing, but again, B wasn't doing this all over the map. He went to do what everyone does on 4 legs, is build a wall on the dock to block it. He went to do it. It turned red. Da da da. What does that mean? It's a dock. Now, you watch B play. He has insane micro. Okay? He is fast. He is buzzing around. What was this one? Oh! This was another one. I'm glad I reviewed it. So, another thing that was discussed here on Beasties and channel and some of the others was, and even on Marine Lords, I think I found it on Marine Lords, is I want to show up because I don't want to put words in people's mouth. It's right here. So once again, you can't say much about it, but the way he plays is versus someone playing an army made of cavalry just confuses me. At 12 minutes, he goes for his berries and starts dropping his pro scout deer there like it's a super safe play. So he's saying B is taking a huge risk just playing in there. La da da da. Well, let's look. He has a ladder game. I found it. Didn't take me too long to find. Okay. So here's B, I think playing the same civ, maybe not. Maybe this is, oh no, this is Delhi. And the one who's been accused was Abbasid, right? But here it is, on the lower right-hand side of the map, just pay attention to that. There's a deer over there. He's going to take these villagers, no protection, and just throw them over there, right? So this is him on the ladder. Did you see a wall? Did you see a tower being built there? Do you see an army heading over there? No, he's just clicking over there. Let's see if he does here in a little bit, or if he just lets them go gather over there. Again, he's streaming with 2 cameras. Now look in the little lower mini map there. You can see those villagers are moving to those deer, unprotected. And I think he's playing against Roos, if I'm not mistaken. Isn't that kind of a cavalry civ with knights? I don't know. It's not French. Again, I'm sorry I couldn't find the perfect example again. But another example of B just taking risk. That's how B plays. And I think that's one of the frustrating things is B's playstyle is so unique. Just because he doesn't play meta doesn't mean that he doesn't understand the game. Or he's not as good because he doesn't play it the way you do. Or see the game the way you do. B analyzes the game very well. What was presented to us was very lacking. And if that was the main evidence against B, I think there's definitely a possibility that you just banned an innocent person from the tournament.